Not sure if this will make my YouTube channel, but the movie about the Diamond Rio truck, I was cleaning the gas tank off with this tractor. This was my first Ford. I have a real, I like this vintage Ford tractors. I have two of 4000s, this one being a row crop tricycle, and I have the loader tractor, which is not a row crop, not a tricycle. But I really, really like this one. I bought this pretty early in my farming career, and that got me hooked on the 5000 that I have and the 8000 that I will have and the 9000 that I have. And so anyways, over the summer, I had this down in the woods, and unfortunately, it's done this once before. The clutch stuck to the pressure plate. So I just, no matter how much you press the clutch pedal, it wouldn't release. So the first time it happened, I was able to get it pop free. This time, not so much. So it needs a new clutch. Why is that important? It's not very important at all. Pretty boring. But I'm doing something a little different with it in that I am going to get rid of this gas engine. And years ago, I had bought this off of Craigslist for a song, and I had to race to get there because the guy had it so reasonably priced that he was getting bombarded with calls, So I actually loaded this in the back of the minivan that I was driving at the time for work. My work car were minivans for a few times for my day job, and hopefully my manager doesn't see this, but that car is long gone anyways. But yeah, throw this in the back of the minivan. I'll post a picture here, and put it on this engine stand and tucked it away for a couple of years. Now, the reason I got it so cheap, I think I paid $400 for it, but it was a complete diesel engine. This is a diesel, sorry, I didn't say that. It was taking on coolant. Same thing that happened to my 5000. This has cavitation in the block, and it's getting coolant into number 2 cylinder. I kind of assumed that was the issue at the time because the guy who had bought it had figured it was a head gasket, replaced the head gasket, and it still was taking coolant in. So not a big deal. It's going to cost a little bit to re-sleeve this and put an engine kit in it, but hopefully, the head looks pretty good. The injectors and the pump are going to be fine. Engine kits, as long as you don't have to turn the crank or anything, which I don't believe we'll have to, at least not for this application, aren't too terrible. I think I forgot the 5000 kit I bought a couple years ago was under $1,000. Came with everything. The machine work was, I don't know what that's going to cost nowadays. You basically these aren't a wet sleeved engine. You got to bore them out and then dry fit in new sleeves back to like a standard bore. So you can't do like an in-frame in them, so to speak. But anyways, that is what we're doing. Actually, I'm not doing it. This is in my friend's shop up the street. I just don't have the time to get this done or the shop space at the moment. So he's got a whole team of people. Undoubtedly, this costs more to have it hired out, but it'll be nice to have a diesel engine in this. This engine's fine. The other tractor I have, the 4000, has the exact same engine. It's a gas 3-cylinder. And you can just tell that it works way better than this one. I mean, this thing's got not that it couldn't be fixed, but I just feel like if there was a tractor that I wanted a diesel in, it would be this one. And, it starts kind of hard. It shuts off here and there, like if there's a loose wire somewhere in the coil. I mean, not a big deal. All this stuff could be fixed, but I have that engine, that diesel engine, so I want to pop it in there. So I'll probably put this up for sale, the engine, this gas engine, other than the intermittent cutting out of the spark, and I think it really needs a different governor spring. It tends to surge a little bit under load, and I think I saw a service bulletin somewhere in all my Ford literature about a governor spring upgrade. So, the bones of the engine is good. It's got it's a snappy little thing. It's got good power, but I kind of always wanted a diesel, and us farmers, we like diesels. So I think the only difference is the gas engines had a dry air cleaner, and the diesels had an oil bath still. So I might have to search around, because the air intake, this obviously runs coolant through the intake. The air intake on the diesel over there comes out on this side, not down here, obviously. So I'll search around and see if I can get like an oil bath air cleaner that goes up in here, and proper routing of the pipe from here up to there. Everything else should be the same. The starter, the power steering pump, the bolt patterns, the clutch, I hope. It should all work. But this will be a lot nicer of a tractor with a diesel, in my opinion. Yeah. I probably won't have a ton on this, because I'm not going to be doing the work, but I'll sneak down here and take some videos as progress goes on. Obviously, this engine's got to get sent out and have the machine work done on it before too much else happens. That'll probably, take at least a couple weeks, depending on how slow the machine shop is. I know I priced out an A&I engine kit for this a year or two ago. I think they're readily available yet, and they didn't seem to have gone up too much in price, which is nice, because I've heard some horror stories about rebuild kits for bigger engines like truck engines, tractor engines, Cummins, and Cats and whatnot. It gets pretty spendy to rebuild one now. But if we leave the head alone, just do gaskets, new pistons, rings, and the sleeves, the machine work for the sleeves, I think we'll be all right. But yeah, nice little engine swap. Nothing too crazy. I think it'll be a handy little tractor. Yeah, here's the intake. You can tell that this is facing forward, and that's where the intake air comes in from the air cleaner. So that's about the only difference. I'll have to go look around and see if I can find some of that stuff in the boneyard, but I suppose you could probably just rig something up with radiator hose. I don't know. More to come on this, and I do a lot of little stuff with this tractor. It's 3-point hitch work stuff, finish mower. I've got a land plane that I'm going to be doing a movie on that I bought for like the driveway and maybe some of the stuff down the woods. Little 3-point hitch disc, York rake, just a great little tractor. It's got enough power to do some real work, and it's tiny enough and maneuverable enough that it's quite handy. So, anyways, enough of me blabbing. More progress to come. Well, I just dropped this diesel ring gear and starter off. And this is a few days, probably a week or so later since when the first video. I haven't seen it until just now, so they've obviously been working on it. The block is at the machine shop getting re-sleeved. And yeah, basically just gotta wait for that stuff to get back and just put everything back together. Here's the, not a big fan of the way they did that, but I guess there's really no other way to do it. Just hope that they don't mess anything up. But here's the gas engine. Gonna have to see if anybody wants that. 'Cause, yeah, I don't know. It ran fine. I just, water looks like a little dirty in there, a little rusty, but it was a good engine. I mean, it never had, they're zippy little things. But I just like diesels better. I mean, that's just kind of a farmer preference. So, yeah, maybe someone will want this. If not, I'll just keep it for parts. I've got a gas engine in my other 4000, so yeah. Where's the flywheel? Oh, there it is. Yeah, you can see where that was stuck right on there. Honestly, that clutch doesn't look too bad. Actually, it's been replaced. 1979 on there. Huh. I don't know. But yeah, that's what stuck on me. The guy who's working on this, or who owns this shop, he said they used to just drill a hole in the bottom of the bell housing and put a screwdriver up in there and whack them out. So I guess I probably should have done something like that. There's a hole here, but, or a start of one, but I don't know. Having second thoughts whether this was the right idea or not, but too late now. Hopefully they don't jab me too bad with the cost of this whole project. That's not good. I think that's a blow-by tube. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just jabbering here, but here's the progress. We'll probably won't get to see it much until it's back together running, but yeah, not much to say. I guess I'll edit out all my gibbering and hopefully we'll have a decent movie come back. Here's the bearings. Just looking at these now, they don't look too bad. That's out of the diesel. Well, not terrible. I think that thing will be fine. It's just that engine cavitation. The block cavitation is what a lot of these Fords had. No. Okay. I gotta get home. More updates to come. Update time on the 4000 row crop. Quite a bit's happened since I took the last video. I haven't been down here to look at the progress, but it's in. Engine was completely rebuilt. They did send the head out and got that completely gone through too with new valves and everything. So should be good runner. I didn't really want them to do that, but sometimes when you're not running a project by yourself, it's something that just happens, you know. I don't even think they asked to have it done. The machinist just decided to do that, but I'm not going to complain because, you know, it'll be right. You know, you get to a point like this in the project, and there's probably, you might as well just do it all, you know. So it's got new, you know, it's bored out, re-sleeved to standard. So that's not a wet sleeve, that's a dry sleeve to get rid of the cavitation. The crank was cleaned. I think standard bearings were put back in it. I think he reused the pistons and just put new rings on it. Of course, the valve was all done. I think the head was decked, the block was decked. Nothing was done with the injection pump. This is a new starter because the diesel engine requires a bigger starter than your gas engine. And let's see, they had to rig up a return line into the gasoline tank. The manifold was, well, I think I screwed up on the manifold. I gave him a downdraft manifold thinking it was the right one, and I sold the gas engine shortly after I took the last video, and probably should have held on to it a little longer, but just got to put the generator bracket on. I just found that. I left that on the other engine. Luckily, the guy was nice enough to just pop it off and give it to me, even though I had to drive like an hour to get it. But that was my bad. So, yeah, looks like he's got everything else on. Here's the return line. The generator will run the, yeah, whatchamacallit, tack bracket or tack cable. The dry element air cleaner isn't going to go back in because I've ordered the diesel engines had a oil bath air cleaner, and I had to order a single fuel filter housing because this is what came with that engine. I knew it wasn't the right one. I guess I thought maybe we could make it work, but it'd be simpler to just go with a single fuel filter, so that should be here soon. I wish they hadn't spray painted this stuff, but whatever you say. It is what it is. This isn't a showpiece by any means, and I guess I really can't represent it as original now anyways, because it's not. But, yeah, this is the first time I've seen it in a while, so I guess it's getting pretty close. They're probably just waiting on those parts for me. So I'm excited to get this back. Yeah, it's still the middle of the winter, but this is a handy little tractor to have around, and it'll be good to have it back on the farm for 3-point work, or, you know, sometimes it's just nice to have something to hook onto with a hitch and go. So, yeah, I'm pleased. Guess probably the next video will be me driving it out of here. I did want to look at the hours so I can make note of 2045. I never knew if those were original or not. You feel I can't believe it's got 12,000 hours on it, the way that engine ran, the gas job. But I just don't know if it's quite 2,000 hours. I had to replace a few things in the front end once. Tie rod ends that were pretty loose, but maybe. I did notice somewhere on this thing there were some drips in the paint, like it was repainted, but there again, this is really thin, so I'm not sure. But anyways, I wanted to make note of those hours so I can, I put it in my folder that this was engine swapped at 2,045 hours. So I've never run a 3-cylinder diesel Ford, so it'll be interesting to to me, to see how the difference from the gas to the diesel is. Of course, I love diesels, so this will be a big improvement for me. So yeah, it's getting close. Looking forward to having it back.
Hey everyone. Finally figured I'd bush hog and show a video of this mower. Excuse me, I've never really taken my own video before of my face. But yeah, down in the woods, it's mid-June, we got some rain, so planting's kind of on hold on the farm. So to be honest, there's a lot of days where all I really wanted to do was just fart around and bush hog. Go bush hog 100 acres and not even think about life or stress or anything but the task in front of you, you know, just mowing. So times like this are kind of special. For me anyways. I know that sounds crazy, but it's the way it is. Sometimes I kind of wish I had a banjo player to hang out with me and just teach me how to play. But anyways, the Ford's doing good. Let's take a picture. I don't know if I can swoop this thing around. How am I supposed to do this? I guess I can't. Stop the video and start moving. Okay, I'll get off here quick. Here she is. It's doing pretty good. This engine seems to be running fine. Obviously it's all rebuilt, so it should be. I've just never run a 3-cylinder Ford before, so a diesel that it is. It's completely different from the gas. So at first I thought it wasn't working right. Like it wasn't, the valves weren't lashed correctly or something, but the more I run it, the better it runs, I think. And I also think this is just how they sound. But got this 7-foot offset bush hog on it. I think it would handle an 8-foot, but this is a pretty good size. An 8-foot in this stuff. I mean, this is bad. This is a little spot down in the woods that we hang out. I always try to mow it sooner than this, but honestly, May and June are usually so busy with farming that we don't have a chance to. But it's okay. The grass is going to seed. What grass is down here? So maybe this is good. It'll help kind of seed more grass than there are weeds. So yeah, this is it. I guess less talking, we'll just do some mowing. Seems to like it around 2,000 RPM. Third gear, low range. Well, yeah, third gear. that's about it. I'm gonna start getting in between these trees, so I don't really want to hold the phone and video and duck and dive and knock over some young trees. Some of them looks like they didn't make it through the winter anyways, but we'll reassess that later. This whole hill used to be covered in pines, and it's all kind of been, they all got choked out with vines. This whole place got overgrown, and we're just trying to now make it into something a little more, some hardwoods, some deciduous trees. Yeah, the old Ford, I like Fords, man. They're just good. They're good tractors. I actually just was second runner-up on a Facebook post. The guy posted a narrow front, just a narrow front end for one of these tractors, but it came with an adapter that you could put on the bigger tractor, so it'd be like an 8,000 and 9,000, which I have. I always wanted to put one on the narrow front, not for functionality, just because I think they look cool. And this guy wanted what I used to pay, what I would have bought a tractor 4 years ago. I said, you know what, you don't find them that often, but some other guy beat me to it. So I have a narrow front, obviously on this, and I have another one for the 5. There's an adapter between the narrow front and the bolster, where it bolts onto the tractor for the 8s and the 9s. They're like finding the needle in a big pile of cow poop. So, anyways, yeah, I think I'll just keep poking away, and the more I move, the less mosquitoes get me, so I should keep going. I'll post some more about this tractor, I guess, and wrap the video up, but I'm really pleased with it. It wasn't cheap to have this done by somebody else. The labor was like $2,000. So I guess when I figure in how busy I am and how much I really wanted this done, that 3-cylinder motor, this motor sat in my shop for like 3 or 4 years. So I guess in the big scheme of things, I'm glad it's done for that labor costs. Obviously that's the difference between me doing it and parts and everything else, the machine work I would have had to have done anyways. So I'm out here using it, and I'm not looking at the motor in the corner of the shop. So is that worth $2 grand? Yeah. Some maybe yes, maybe no. I guess it depends on what time of year you ask and how the bank account looks. I don't know. It's a lot cooler with a diesel, and be a lot more functional in my book. So I'll keep plugging away and quit talking, and wrap it up in a second. Thanks. So it occurred to me that I never did do a wrap-up movie on this, so I figured I'd throw a few pictures into the tractor over the years, but it's worked out really well as a diesel now. Been using it a lot and really enjoy it, so it was worth it for me. Hope you enjoy this video, and talk to you next time. Keep those vibes positive.